question. Is the data warehouse a decentralized AWS? You know, Juan, that's a real great question. And it's something that when we're comparing to AWS, it's a bit challenging. AWS has like 85 different services. I mean, everything from serverless computing all the way down to, you know, their data warehousing to a bunch of dozens and dozens of other stuff that, quite frankly, I am not nearly techno savvy enough to understand. When it comes down to, are we a decentralized version of AWS, Juan? That's what we're building. As of right now, we are in the version 0. So what that means is that well, we don't even have a governance system set up yet. We'll have to launch on the mainnet first before we can build that. So what we're building is a decentralized data solution. So when data goes in, no one controls it. You know, if Amazon decides that they don't like whatever, you know, maybe it's a website that somehow competes with them. Well, no, they'll probably just take a look at it. That's a whole other conversation, though. I realize I'm recording. Anyways, we love AWS, GCP, Microsoft, Azure, and the other big tech leaders that laid the foundation. The main point is what we believe is that there's more power if people can collaborate, if they can interoperate together. See, if a business is able to generate an amount of data, you know, let's just say I like to use the example of marketing because I come from a marketing background, know how that stuff works. And one of the big challenges, let's just say we're talking about solar and selling solar panels within certain areas. Well, some cities have a lot more demand for solar than other cities. And to be able to determine, well, based upon advertising metrics, such as say engagement, completely anonymized, completely obfuscated information, but to determine, well, where are the highest click-through rates? Where are the highest conversion rates? If there was some kind of a bounty that was able to collect and aggregate this information, anybody could then query this data, find out which specific markets are the most active and the most effective for solar, and decide to invest there. And this is kind of a live example because I had the opportunity to work in a similar situation with some folks. They needed to be able to figure out what was the best way to make things happen. And that data is really hard to get to. And there's a very small amount of people who have it, which makes it very, very valuable. Yet, if you take the flip side of that, let's say you're the person who has that data. I've overseen tens of millions of dollars of Facebook advertising, and that's a walled garden. Once we run the ads, we can look over the data and see, okay, there's high click-through rates there, low conversion rates there. Oh, looks like the 25 to 44 female market within the California region is the most effective. Let's target that. But all of that other data that we might have spent tens of thousands of dollars on never gets used, just collects dust, thrown into the trash. It's not a very smart move. I mean, I love the example of Lockheed Martin with their airplanes. It wouldn't make sense if they built a plane, spent the $50 million on it, and blew the thing up after the first flight. There's a way to be able to reuse, not just recycle, but to reapply data into different scenarios, to connect data in a way that it's able to be built upon. In this way, you have a compounding effect of innovation, which you take an environment like blockchain, where you have all sorts of interesting and exciting data points moving, everything from NFTs to gaming to perhaps even just transaction data, understand what types of ins and outs are going between various swaps or DeFi applications. This is information that could be used not just for financial purposes in the sense of trading or investing, but also can be used for being able to decide what kind of a business to make or what type of a market to go after, to determine, is there even actually a demand for whatever type of service or product a person may want to launch. Anyways, I got completely off track, but well, I guess that's kind of the point of these things, to be able to share information casually. So Juan, our idea behind a decentralized data warehouse is that yes, there will be services very similar to AWS, yet the vision does differ a bit. What we're looking to be able to do is to be something of a, call it an innovation stimulant, somebody that can find a way to, in a compliant and safe manner, to aggregate data and to encourage data professionals like engineers and analysts and scientists to be able to reuse and to reapply this data in a way that can better the world, in a way that can help businesses make better decisions, that can help consumers understand what products, services, and companies may be reputable or not, and overall, just to be able to help decision making improve in general.